Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Bulletproof for BJJ podcast. Shout outs. Bulletproof for BJJ athletes doing great things around the world. We talk about Adele Fornino's absolutely massive year, what that means next, and the money fight with none other than Fionn Davies. Where will it be? How much will they get paid? What's next? We also talk about Kyle Rudolph and his amazing performance at the recent AIGA tournament, Team Allione, all the inside goss. It's a good one. Also, we talk about our girl, Nadia Franklin, who is the Pan middleweight black belt champion in her rookie year. She got the bronze in the absolute. What's next for her? Big things for No-Gi Worlds. And last but not least, we shout out our great guy, Fabio Kooy. For those of you who don't know him, he is one of the best athletes to come out of Alliance, absolute dominator at lightweight. We talk about what it means, him moving up to middleweight for No-Gi Worlds. Let's get into the episode now. You're loving the show, we love you, and what we would love more than anything is for you to like, subscribe, and give us a 5-star rating. Now, the thing that actually really helps is when you share this with a friend. The best way for podcasts to get around is word of mouth. So do us a huge favor right now. You're liking the episode, go and let a friend know, share this with them, and get them onto the good thing, which is Bulletproof. We appreciate it. Let's talk about the great results Bulletproof for BJJ athletes are getting. That's what I want to talk about. There are a couple people out there in the world, you've probably heard of some of them, who are out there dominating competition, looking good while they're doing it, and we help them stay fit and flexible.
Yeah.
I want to start at the top. Number one, top dog, the it girl of jiu-jitsu, Adele Fornino. She's been getting plenty of press lately. She recently took out the Who's Number One strawweight championship belt.
She's had an unbelievable year.
I think the best year any athlete could have, basically.
Yeah.
To go from probably not, I mean, everyone kind of knew Adele was a contender because she'd already been threatening and beating people at different levels. Maybe not quite finishing number one previous year. This year she came for it all.
Yeah.
And I mean, we saw her performance at the ADCC. It was just like a dream come true in terms of just being able to execute and demonstrate that. And now...
give us the, what did she do it just for the uninitiated? Hey, I just started jiu-jitsu 7 days ago. Who's this guy, Adele, you keep talking about?
Adele Fornino, the it girl, the even though she calls herself daddy, because she's got the big daddy energy, has been one of Australia's best, I guess, ever young competitors, now really growing into a full... I mean, she got silver at No-Gi Worlds last year. She'd won brown belt worlds, I think purple belt as well, maybe even blue belt. So it's like she's kind of won championships all the way up the scale. But at black belt, it's one of the tests, like, can you win at black belt? And not only has she won at black belt, and I think at the Brasileiro, she had got silver against Maisa Bastos, who's one of the top AOJ women, considered to be number one in the world in that lighter weight class, and had pretty much ripped Maisa's foot off, even though she didn't tap. And it was very, very close match. A small error meant that she lost. So she would have been the first woman from Australia to win the Brasileiro. Anyway, she got silver. This year, it's all been about the ADCC, obviously CJI. She was locked in for the ADCC, entered as the lightest female competitor in all of the female competitors.
It was the first time they had that.
They had the
category,
55 kilo category, which was absolutely made for her. She won that and won that emphatically, and won her finals match with the Mir lock, which everybody was like, oh my God. And
From close guard.
Yeah.
Jumped close guard and then Mir locked.
Bia Basilico, yeah, who is considered to be one of the greatest female competitors.
Yeah, she's
and to catch her like that, it's like, fuck. So that was amazing. And then, on a whim, said, I spoke to her backstage. She's like, yeah, I'll do the absolute. I mean, I'm here, right? Let's have a crack. And then becomes the lightest competitor, male or female, to ever win the absolute. Goes through. And
also by submission, no?
Yes. Oh, she won the final on, it was a decision.
Yes.
It was penalties against...
With The opponent refused to engage.
Yeah, but she had her in a triangle. She did go to the armbar. Like it wasn't that she wasn't attacking. And that's the thing about Adele. She's very attacking.
Yeah.
And
she's super aggressive.
I think she submitted 4 of her 6 opponents. So she won the majority on sub.
So came away from ADCC with 2 gold medals.
Double champ.
Yeah, which broke multiple records in doing so, and did it in a really exciting fashion. Which I think that has to be acknowledged for any performing grappler, because there are plenty of grapplers that win without putting on like spectacular performances. You look at Adele's highlights and they are super exciting.
She's getting after it. And as Jake O'Driscoll says, she wants to break your shit. She's really trying to hurt you. The bad intentions are there when she grabs your stuff.
Which, if you never heard that episode, Jake O'Driscoll is a friend of the show. He followed our program some years ago for a long time.
We do back Jake. He's a Bulletproof guy.
And he came on and spoke to us about just his approach to the thing. And he's like Adele's kind of coach. Like he's a
personal coach.
Yeah.
So even though she is graded by Dave Hart from Dominance in Melbourne in Australia, and she also trains under Andre Galvão, she sometimes has to compete against other Atos teammates, and Jake is always in her corner. And Jake has spoken about how Andre Galvão is very respectful of him being her coach.
Yeah.
So and he's an awesome competitor himself.
Yeah, he's a legend. That's a good episode, by the way. We're very inspiring chatting with him.
Yeah, worth checking out. Like he's really taking coaching to the next level in terms of his approach. But yeah, I wanted to acknowledge what Adele's achieved. I mean, she's just won the Who's Number 1 strawweight title, but I think this is where another chat comes in, because I spoke to her immediately after that ADCC performance. I've spoken to her since, and she was talking about Fionn. Probably considered
Who's
to
like
be
the other it girl.
Yeah, like Fionn is considered, because Fionn was at CJI.
Yep.
She got offered a good amount of money to go there. And
she dominated last ADCC, didn't she?
She did, yeah. And really has got the champion aura. You know, she's beaten everyone and she's not taken shit. She's very, very strong, very willful character when you hear her talk. Like, she's not taking any bullshit. You're trying to talk smack to her, even if you think it's just part of the game. She's kind of like Khabib. She's not taking it lightly. She'll come and
think.
Yeah. And I'm not saying she's not a nice person. I'm not.
No. But she's so humble, and I feel like she almost is like, she doesn't even buy into people try and trash talk her. She's like,
I think
okay,
it was,
her jiu-jitsu does the talking.
Nah. Didn't you see it where Rocha said, you think you're going to beat me with your basic bitch knee cut? She got so upset about that comment. She's probably like humble the way Mikey's humble. Humble till they're triggered, and then they're popping off, bro. They'll have a press conference on what they're not happy about. But the interesting thing is, Adele also innately is a humble human. You speak to her, she's the loveliest person. But then at the end of her interview at ADCC, she said, well, there's someone who's not here right now. And we were all like, oh, the call out. Yeah, it's what the fans want. Even though some people are like, oh, it's disrespectful. It's like, nah, man, like, this is great. Rivalries make anything. Any sport, rivalries is what it's all about. Fionn is the established champion. Adele is the new champion, clearly, beaten so many greats to be who she is now. And I spoke with Adele, and she said they're just trying to get the money fight.
Right.
Where can they get it? I'll put it out there right now. I think it's going to be CJI. There's no ADCC next year. I think they're both like really want the match, and Craig is the guy to get them enough money to want to do it.
Yeah. And CJI is happening next year, isn't it?
CJI 2 is coming.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be really exciting. It's holiday season, folks. And you know what that means? It means holiday open mats. Getting sweaty, lots of rolling. It's a good time of year. But don't be the person in the corner, not rolling because you're cramping. I have a solution for you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Sodi, the good powder in the baggie. Now, what I have here is the flavorless version. I have a nice little secret to share with you. Flavorless is fantastic when you mix it with your favorite carbonated beverage, whether it's sugar-free, full sugar, whatever you like. Flavorless fits in with whatever you got. Even if you still like to play with the dark side, aka Powerade, you put one of these superchargers in there, you've got the perfect mix of sodium, potassium, and magnesium, which is going to kill the cramps and keep you rolling for longer this holiday season. Just go to Sodi, SODII.com.au, put in the code Bulletproof15 at checkout. You get 15% off. Merry Christmas, you filthy animals. There is a common trait amongst all the greats in jiu-jitsu. They do the extra. They do the extra training, the extra study, you naming it, they're going there so they can be at their best. Now, you may not want to be a world champion, but you do want to be better at jiu-jitsu. Submeta.io has got you covered. It is the most comprehensive online learning platform for BJJ. It doesn't matter if you've just started or you've been training for 10 years. It's got something in there that's going to help you. Also, the structure is specifically designed so you actually pay attention and remember the lessons. This is the key thing. So if you want to get better at jiu-jitsu, go to submeta.io and use the code Bulletproof16 and you get $16 off. Get in there, start learning today.
Yeah, and they got Mackenzie Dern in for the fight with Fionn, which was like, whatever. No one expected Mackenzie.
No, but Mackenzie has been absolute champion, ADCC champion, MMA.
Has been, absolutely.
Has been, yeah.
Yeah, he's now a UFC fighter.
Yes, so
yeah, it was always a tall order, right, coming in against Fionn. But I think that Adele Fionn would be like an actual super competitive, high-level match to see.
And I mean, everybody just references the first time they met, which was like the first ADCC when we were there in 2022, right?
Yeah.
When the first time they had competed against each other in the ADCC. And Adele was too small and she wasn't ready. She was a bit green, and that was the year Fionn crushed it and she got steamrolled. Like basically, it was one of those things that you do see these matchups from time to time, and people, what I've read, and I shouldn't do this, but I always go through the comments section. People like, Fionn smashed her. She's nothing. It's like, no, that was a very different Adele then to how she is now. And I believe she's proven that. And so, yeah, I'm really excited to see Adele go up against Fionn. And I don't know, but I think I have my suspicions that it will be the next CJI. But now I want to cut to someone else. Kaya Rudolph, ladies and gentlemen, recently competed at AIGA with Team Alione, and they smashed it. And what was so funny was
watching Chicago Bulls, like that Last Dance kind of era. Just seeing the amount of superstars on that team,
and then just smash whoever they're going up against.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the event. I've just seen clips on Instagram, but there's just so many star players.
Oh, and I think that's what it is. If you front a professional team for AIGA, you need all-star team.
Yeah.
And so the team won. I mean, a lot of other really huge names in there, but I want to mention Kaya because Kaya's been following our program for the last 18 months and he's getting his man muscles on. And actually, it's very funny. Teague Howell, he was like...
Who?
Teague, he used to be a commentator for Flow.
Okay, yep.
He's Welsh. I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name. I actually knew him before he was famous back in Brazil.
Right on.
But anyway, he's kind of a fairly rated commentator within the world of jiu-jitsu, and I think he might be a black belt by now, brown belt at least. But his commentary of who Kaya is, he's thick. he's not that tall, but he's so thick and he's strong and then he was like, but he has the most insanely flexible lower body. And then someone put in the comments, the way Teague is describing Kaya makes him sound like a stripper. Because every time someone would post the clip, it's like, he's thick and just keep running over and over again. And that is the thing about Kaya. I mean, he would have to be, in my opinion, the single most flexible guy I don't think I've come across anyone who is as flexible in the lower body as him.
Wow.
You can't inside heel hook that guy. You can't leg lock that guy. It's not. The only way I've seen him lose is by kind of face choke.
Yeah.
I think against Luke Griffiths. And that's about it. But he made pretty light work. The whole Allione team just ran a train on AIGA. Like they killed it. So
is the I know I looked this up some time ago, but that AIGA, is that like
it's a league.
Yeah, is it like a Kazakhstani group or is it a Chinese thing?
I'm not sure who has the money behind it. It is being held currently in Kazakhstan.
Right.
And so basically they're bringing together these superstar teams it's not quite the same format as Quintet. They have a competitor per weight category.
Yeah.
But they can have a competitor compete more than one weight category, I believe.
Right. If you win, do you stay on? Nah.
I don't think so. I think it's just you've got to. It's whoever wins the most matches out of the team's collective wins and losses.
Right. It's very fascinating that, and like Al Leone, right? Like it's a household name now.
Yeah.
But that we'd heard of it only for the first time, like last year or something.
Probably only 2 and a bit years old.
Yeah. Someone popped up with obviously some huge money.
Dude, they got their own jet. They like.
Do they? Wow. And yeah, they literally got like all of the teams in that AIGA event are like a bunch of superstars all coming from all over the world. It's pretty sick.
It's awesome to think that like you've got pro jiu-jitsu teams competing in a pro jiu-jitsu league.
Yeah.
Yes. And they get whichever team wins, like I think previously, like last year or earlier in the year, we saw Team Adolfo, which has got a bunch of superstars on it. They won their section. Team Allione won here. I think there's like 2 or more events that need to happen. And then they're competing for the $1 million next year, which is amazing to think.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Kaya is still young as hell. Like I think Kaya's 22. Lucky if he's 22. And he's thick, ridiculous, and getting stronger by doing Bulletproof, which is amazing to think that this guy's going to get stronger and more athletic.
Yeah, he's been posting more and more about his training. I love to see it.
Yeah, and I want to step to another Bulletproof athlete who you may not have heard of, or you should have, which is Nadia Franklin. Now, Nadia just won the Pan Am's no-gi. She got gold in middleweight and she got bronze in the absolute. It's her rookie year at black belt. And the reason why I'm bringing...
What's rookie year mean?
It means it's her first year, but she only got her black belt like a couple months ago.
Right, so it's the first year.
First year she's black belt and she won Pan Am's.
Wow.
So it's like, that's a statement. It's not just like, because oftentimes people find it difficult. They might be the champion in the color belts, but then they get to black belts. It's like, whoa, different level. No, she's on that level. And look, she narrowly missed out on going to the ADCC. It was very close in her trials match. I think she should have been there, but it's how it goes. I am biased because I have trained with Nadia, and obviously Bulletproof sponsors her, so I have a vested interest. But the thing that I admire about Nadia, even though she's like quite a fairly reserved, quiet person, she is a wild woman on the mat. She will do a flying triangle. She will just shoot for the takedown. She will just do whatever it takes to win in the moment, which is like, it's just one of those qualities that you don't see in every athlete. And I believe she's got the it factor. And the reason why I bring this up is Kaya will be at No-Gi Worlds, which is happening in the next week or so. Nadia will also be there. So let's see what's going on there. It could be a chance for these guys to get more titles. I think we will see Nadia become like middleweight black belt world champion in her rookie year.
Wow.
She's 19. What the
Wow.
It's remarkable, right? Like these achievements so young. I think all these people have such great futures ahead of them. So I'm really excited for that. And Nadia always brings highlight shit. Similar, like you were saying that like Adele was really attacking. Nadia would.
Yeah, what did Nadia pull out?
She was
in that event. She was down and then like 5 seconds.
10 points. There's 30 seconds to go. You're down 10 points.
10 points is a lot.
You're not getting those points back. I think it was against a girl from AOJ. She basically does a flying triangle, but she can't like just get the flying triangle. She gets it and she's not quite finished the triangle. She turns the girl over. She's on mount. So she's got like, I don't know, or mounted triangle. Maybe she gets 4 points. She can't win on points. She has to submit her. So then she's like going to the arm bar and she kind of goes belly down on it. And the chick taps with like 2 seconds to go. And it's like there's one way to win and it's like, I have to submit this girl. How do I do it? And people were going mental. That was brown belt no-gi worlds potentially last year or the year before.
Okay.
She's won it twice. It was probably the year before because last year she won weight and absolute at brown belt no-gi worlds.
Right on.
Like and she beat Nora Naomi. Shout out to another great Australian female grappler who we don't sponsor.
Aussie Superfire right there.
But please feel free to text us. Get in our DMs, Nora Naomi. We're fans.
Hey, so in today's app, we talk about how we're helping these world-class athletes, Nadia, Adele, Kaya, Fabio, perform at the highest level. And we're super stoked to do that. It's a great privilege. But something that JT and I are really stoked about on the regular is how we help everyday grapplers like yourself perform on the mats. Now, you're not trying to be a world champion. You're just trying to show up, train 2-3 times a week, do your best, improve, and stave off injury. And this is exactly what our programs are designed to do. You can get your hands on our library of programs right now. Plus, you can access our training journal and rings function. And it's all free for the first 2 weeks. All you got to do is go to the App Store, whether you're on Android or on iOS, search Bulletproof for BJJ and download the app. You can start training right away and you can get coached by JT, myself, and the Bulletproof coaching team. It's like having your own jiu-jitsu strength coach in your pocket, personal trainer who knows you and loves you. And you can go right now and start for free. Go to the App Store, download the app, and we will see you on the inside.
But then, I want to talk about someone who you may not have heard of, but is an amazing competitor, is Fabio Kooy, my Brazilian house brother. I stayed with him, trained with him. He's a legend. He actually came and lived here in Australia for a little while back in the days when he wanted to learn some English.
Oh, yeah?
And actually trained at Gracie, Sydney.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. And so he knows a few people from there.
Yeah.
But he is, in my opinion, Alliance's probably best no-gi grappler lightweight. Like, he's doing so well. I mean, he was very unfortunate to kind of miss out on selections. He lost to Roberto Jimenez in the selections for ADCC. But then when Roberto went across to CJI, he got the call up.
Ah, right on. That's how he got in.
And he unfortunately ended up losing to PJ Barch first round just by a pass. It was just like a very close match and it was kind of sucked. But since
Pretty
then,
hard to win against PJ Barch from what I can tell.
Yes. I mean, but the thing is, it's funny. I saw the interaction. They're friends. You know, they get on very well. And
competitors don't have to hate each other, JT.
I think it can make it interesting, Joe. It can.
But it's not essential.
I don't think it's essential, but I didn't know their relationship, but I just saw them interacting even before they competed and then just like, oh, this is the game, you know? If it wasn't now, then it could be the finals or it probably have to happen at some stage, right? We're in this category. We're all competitors. And so there's a lot of like, just empathy and humility between those guys is so good. And so Kooy most recently won the ADCC Open Brazil and just crushed the out of whoever he was competing against. And that's the thing. He's a kind of under 72. He's a lightweight guy. He's so strong.
He's big for that weight.
He has got bionic biceps.
Yeah.
Like the bicep, like his arms are ridiculous.
Yeah.
But he's been doing a lot of training. He was, I believe, in Kuwait. There's an alliance over there. He was running that. He's back in Brazil. He's training at Alliance. He's been training with Cyborg. He is also going to be at No-Gi Worlds.
Right on.
But this time I think he's competing at middleweight.
Okay.
So he's
probably going up.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's going to look puffy as.
He's going to look even more jacked. He's never not lean.
His biceps are huge.
Bro,
easily bigger than mine.
Imagine. Almost as big as your calves, Joe.
I don't think so.
Ridiculous. But yeah, I had spoken to Adele, like, would she do No-Gi Worlds? And she said, I don't fight for free. And I was like, my
Daddy.
girl. Yeah. And I was like, that's fair. Because they would actually make her pay to enter. And she's like, I don't fuck with that.
Yeah, you know, that's what's really cool about watching Adele's career kind of unfold is that, like she's being very strategic about it all, and she's obviously got good people around her because she is really like aware of her value and her worth.
Yeah.
And so that thing of like, nah, like I don't fuck with that level of the game anymore because I'm this person. I think it's so cool because you can do that and not be an arrogant wanker, right?
No.
And she's doing it in a way that it's like, no, just being honest about
who I am.
I'm
professional.
Yeah.
I get paid to compete.
Yeah.
And you know, she told me how much money she made off the ADCC, and I'm like, woo, yeah, I wouldn't be competing for free either, you know. And when organizations are offering you tens of thousands, upward of, you know, getting up on that $100,000 mark, you're like, why would I pay a couple $100 to go to a tournament? Like, just for the token of it. When you've already proven yourself against the best, to be the best. And I think that's the toughest thing as a jiu-jitsu athlete, that you've got to do these things to prove yourself, and it costs you more than anything. You're not being paid. But no, I just want to give that shout out. So, man, amazing year for all those athletes. We have the great fortune to be able to assist them, play a small role in helping them be strong, be fit, be flexible. And I'm so stoked on it, because having always had the dream to want to be those folks and be on those big stages, and I can't do it, it feels good to be able to go, I helped out a little bit. I chipped in. So it was a little bit of, like, I was just a little bit, whether it's like money, training, whatever it is, able to help them and also have them enjoy that success, but also, you know, through no prompting, say, hey man, like, you helped me. It's a wicked feeling. It's so good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very special. And, it's a quite, kind of surreal when you see what they're doing, and then, you know, you see them, you're talking to them obviously about the training, and they're posting clips of that and stuff. And then you're like, seeing them on the world stage, you're like, holy shit, it's awesome.
Yeah, bro. It's a wild feeling. So even though I know for the best part, you know, I would say, you know, 95% of the people who do our program are the regular jiu-jitsu folks, just trying to get their thing going. There is a performance element to our programs, and I think this is what's coming, folks. If you are interested to train like these folks, new thing. This is a little preview. I'll let you know right now, behind the scenes, behind the curtain. Next year, you will actually be able to follow these folks' programs. It's going to be out there. You're going to be able to follow along with Adele's training. In the same way, if you want to know what the hell is Nadia doing to be so strong and powerful, you're going to be able to follow the program. You're going to be able to get that program, know what it is, get benefits, and kind of train alongside these champions, which is, it's a cool thing.
Yeah, and these programs will be quite different from our existing ones in that they're going to be a lot more training days per week, aren't they? Like, the way we design things for now is for the everyday grappler, not dissimilar to ourselves, who really only gets a couple days, maybe 3 days in the gym a week. This will now be programming for those who are like, want to be at an elite level. So if you fancy yourself, you know, you like getting in the gym most days and you want to be hench.
More performance.
Yep. There you go. Yeah, I'm really excited for these to drop.
Yeah. So that's something to keep an eye out for next year, folks. It's going to be real. It's going to be exciting. There it is. Shout out to all of our athletes. We love you. Now, if you want to know more performance enhancing tips, all natty, like, subscribe, follow, all the good stuff. We appreciate it.